Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email us Team Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase pricing and availability questions concerning this watch. Today we're discussing a beauty that launched at SIHH 2016 from Jaeger-LeCoultre. This is the Master Ultra Thin Date. In stainless steel, 40 millimeters in diameter, it lives up to its moniker at 7.8 millimeters thick, and from lug tip to lug tip, 45.5 millimeters with a 21 millimeter spacing between the lugs. Now the strap is stiff because it hasn't been broken in, so when I put it on my wrist, the watch is going to look broader than it is. Keep in mind that as this softens up, the lugs of the watch will be nowhere near the edge of my 16 centimeter circumference wrist. Super flat, it'll slide under a sleeve easily. And you can see down the barrel, even pulling the strap fairly tight, the lugs are nowhere near the edge of my wrist. So 14 centimeters circumference and up. Remember, stiff strap being pulled tight, exaggerating the width of the watch. We have a dark brown gloss finished, large rectangular symmetrical scale, alligator leather strap. When you have large rectangular symmetrically shaped scales, you're looking at a very good cut of the animal. And you can see on the bottom, calfskin lining, a brand new JLC factory strap, no crimping, no gouging. It's got a monotone stitch. It's got a profile that's shear cut and lacquered for refinement, a little bit of stuffing. They call it bolstering to add volume. You can pop the strap off the case using the pull tab spring bars right here. A feature you'll find on a lot of current JLC watches, but they also give you a pop-off double deployant clasp. So you push that button and the buckle comes off the strap without a tool. After all, what is the good of having a tool-free strap removal if you need a tool to remove the buckle from the strap? So both of these come off using only your fingernail. Double deployant clasp, friction fit, and then you can see that it features a JLC logo externally. It is steel just like the watch. Close that up, roll around to the case. It's fine and handsome. You could see that in order to make it as thin as it is, we have screws that thread all the way through the case into the bezel on the other side, so you get a little insight into the way it's made to keep it so thin. And then we have a stem tube assembly that's sort of shrink wrapped around the stem itself. Again, think thin. Taking a look, it is still 50 meters water resistant, which is extraordinary because dress watch standard is 30 meters. I still don't recommend you swim with it, but still, more is better when it comes to protecting your watch. And it has been through the Master 1000 Hours Control. You can see the little logo right there. A 41.6 day 6-position timing test of the fully assembled watch. Remember, COSC is 5 positions, 2 weeks of just the movement. This is the full watch in 6 positions for 1,000 hours. Includes chronometry, yes, and typically for a watch like this, the standard is going to be no worse than -1 + 6, which is better than COSC. But it's also a test of winding efficiency, power reserve, durability, and water resistance. So Master 1000 Hours is a serious certification. We have a stop seconds function, so you can set the watch to a reference time. And then, by the way, the setting action is creamy smooth and very precise. Also, we have a quick set mechanism, so you can rapidly cycle the date. And this being JLC, the date doesn't scroll, it jumps instantaneously with spring-loaded action. It's quite refined. The dial features dart-style applique indices, and you will note that the dial is champagne, or at least it's described as champagne, but it has a lot more undertones of gold and honey than a typical champagne dial, which usually feels more like a combination of silver and gold. This has a little bit more punch to it. It's richer, it's more intense. And then we have hands at center, which are Dauphine style, but half frosted to improve contrast against the dial base. We have a polished counterweighted lancet style seconds hand, and we have little silver dimples around to allow you to read minutes and seconds. You'll appreciate that there is a facet to the date. It's not just a sheer vertical cut through the dial. It has a little bit of progressive slope to it. And then the radial sunburst graining of this dial is a beautiful thing. The movement is the latest development of a family that started with the 889 eons ago. This is the 899, 43-hour power reserve, unidirectional winding with ceramic rotor bearing balls. It has a 4 hertz beat rate. It is free sprung for durability and precision of adjustment. Pivots on 32 joules, and you can see it uses real heat blued screws. It has stripes. It also features a combination of polish on some components, along with a lovely sunburst on the center of the ball bearing. It's free sprung. You can see that I'll freeze the balance here. All timing adjustments are made using movable masses on the balance rim. So shock or concussion can't change the timing of the watch as it can with a mobile stud index. And it also allows for a very progressive and fine control of the timing of the watch. Taking a quick look, you can also see JLC uses KIF shock protection rather than the more common Inca block. Unidirectional winding is used here because it is more efficient than bidirectional. On the winder, they're the same. On the wrist, unidirectional is more efficient. And again, a 43-hour power reserve. If you love this watch, reach out to Team Mosso at the 1916company.com for purchase and pricing details.